Invading is the act of running into the enemy central area in order to disrupt their jungler so that your team can get ahead. Today, I am here to cover the basics on invading so that you could feel comfortable pulling this off in your own games. The goal of invading is simple. You, a tankier character, are going to go and mess with the squishier jungler character in the early game while they are still a squishy target that you can mess with. There are multiple benefits to invading. First, one of the Pokemon on your team is going to have an entire lane's worth of experience to themselves. This is going to put them ahead and allow them to snowball and farm up to their power spike. More importantly, it's going to put the enemy central laner behind. This is very important because most of the time the central lane is the most impactful role on the map, and any time that you can slow down their farming is going to disrupt their entire team. The downsides to invading is you are going to be leaving one person alone. This can mean that they are easily punished, allowing the enemy team to potentially get a lot of scores and micro invades on the lane that you are leaving alone. How do you actually go about invading? The process is actually quite simple. You are just going to march from the first seconds of the match over towards the enemy blue buff. The reason I say blue buff is this is the most sought after buff by most junglers right now, so that is likely where they are going to be zooming over towards, and this is the perfect place for you to start messing with them. You, as the tankier target, don't need experience as desperately as the jungler does. So simply make your presence known so that they have to start thinking and planning differently. Then comes the difficult part. They are either going to run away from you or they are going to try and contest you on the buff. If you notice that they are not deterred by your presence, you are going to approach them and just start smacking them. You are going to keep on smacking the enemy Pokemon until the wild Pokemon is low enough for you to take with an ability. This process does two things. First, if you can steal the buff or any experience away from the jungler, that's just experience that you get to keep. Second, you're going to be mitigating any gank attempt they are going to have because you are taking HP out of their pool and you are slowing down their rotation timer. Do not run away. Keep the pressure on. You want to go and steal as much farm to cause as big of a response from the enemy team as possible. It is not uncommon for you to die invading, but that is okay. Remember, the end goal is to waste their time. If the enemy has to pull resources from a lane to go and stop you from invading, that, in my opinion, means that the invade was successful because they had to send resources out of lane to stop farming to get a kill on a measly Squavit. In my opinion, the best invading Pokemon are the ones that can mix it up from a range, but also have great securing moves. The two that come to mind for me are Greedent and Hoopa. Greedent with the berries is able to just get in there and harass with Tackle. Tackle is also great secure on any enemy wild Pokemon that is getting low. And then Hoopa is a good choice because you can actually engage from a range. This means that any melee opposing Pokemon is going to have to come to you to stop you from invading. Plus, that circle move that Hoopa has is a phenomenal early game stealing tool. Further to this, there are certain Pokemon that you want to invade against where the matchup will always favor you. Strong Pokemon like Glaceon struggle in the early game when they are still in EV. This gives you the opportunity to invade while they are at their weakest. Other easy invades are Cinderace, Gengar, and the occasional Serena or Machop jungle will come out. All of those struggle to consistently clear jungle in the early game. This means that you can waltz in there and just start smacking and steal away all their farm. Now that is the basics on how to invade in Pokemon Unite. Go out there and give it a shot. You are going to feel silly, but it's a heck of a lot of fun once you get the hang of it. If you got value out of this guide, please subscribe to this channel. I'm making more Pokemon Unite content all the time. And once you're subscribed, why not go check another video? Anyway, that's all for now. Have yourselves a phenomenal day, and I'll see you next time.